Hey folks, Rich here at RCINFORMER. Today I have something hot off the presses from ROC HOBBY. This is their 1/6 scale 1941 MB Scaler. Really cool military vehicle from the 1940s era. Just a classic model, and as you guys know, it's kind of a red letter date here at RCINFORMER because I don't really do any cars or trucks, but when I saw this one, I said, you know, this is really cool, and it's just a classic look, and the detail on it looks so great. And of course, in the background, you can see Miss Kentucky State, my red-tailed Mustang, and I said, hey, I got to get one of these, if for no other reason than to just I gotta tow this airplane with this thing at Joe Knoll and some of the air shows and all that kind of stuff. So we're gonna get into it. First time for you guys with this, first time for me as well, because again, I'm not really a car guy, but I'll give you guys as much info on this thing as I can. It's hit or miss where you can get this thing. I will put links below here as to where you can get this thing at. I think you know, I think Banggood's got it in some other places, but as more places come available, I'll put the list down there because it's so new of a model, and it's just really sweet. But also in the upper right hand corner, folks, a little white eye, if you click on that, it'll drop down a menu. I'll put some we'll get this thing out there and drive it around here real soon so you guys can see it operating and so forth. But let's go ahead and get this is new to me. Like I said, I haven't had this out yet. We're gonna pull this out the way it was meant to be, kind of unpackaged here, and I'll show it to y'all just real time. It's a nice package, and it's got a real nice carrying handle to carry it around. It looks like it's got some little latches here, but let's take a look at the side of the container here and kind of see at the box here, at the box cover, I guess you call it, and just kind of see what it's all about. This is the RS version, so I think this one's like ready to go, ready to scale probably. Look at the detail on the inside of this thing. And it'll give you some of the features on it here. Realistic injection molded body on frame, servo-driven steering wheel even. Wow, that's cool. Functional headlights and anti-aircraft light. I'll check that out. Fold-away front windshield. Injected molded engine with functional hood. Functional spare tire. So I guess you could replace that. Fits most 1/6 scale figures, optional canvas top, pre-painted shovel and axe, cushioned upholstered seats, and the chassis has a all-terrain 324mm wheelbase, crawler chassis, true ladder frame, grippy tires, all that stuff. So oversized battery compartment. I think it's meant for a 2 to 3 cell. Oil-filled shocks, gear reduction, all that stuff. There's your electronics on it. There's your motor specs, fully waterproof receiver, and let's see, 2.4 gigahertz radio system. So it's fully ready to run kind of thing here, folks. Let's look at this. They go into some history here. I don't want to go into all that detail, but man, look at that thing. Let's get this thing out and take a look. There's axes and shovels and stuff, and like I said, I'm dying to see this thing pull my P51 around. I don't wonder if this comes with the canvas top. There's your specs on it, so you get the height and all that kind of stuff, ground clearance and everything. There's your dimensions, and also, anyway, enough of that. Let's get this thing out of the box. We'll pull this thing open. Let me just kind of tear this stuff up, and let's get into here. We'll pull this stuff off of here. Pull this around, lift up that handle. Let's see how this thing comes packaged. I don't know what's up and down on this. These appear to be latches, and this is like a foam box it comes in. Let's see kind of how this, I have no idea how this is. There we go. It's probably meant to come out this way. There we go. Look how nice that thing is. Let me see if I can zoom on that a little bit for you guys, so you guys can get down in there. This is not my normal review because I usually airplanes I'm putting together, but let's see what we got. We got the windshield. It's protected by some tissue paper, a little bit of foam. Looks like there's a shovel floating around in there. And let's really carefully lift this out of here, get this out of the box, and we'll get everything out. Instructions are here. Looks like here's part of the controller. Here's another part of the controller. Really impressed with the EPO box that this thing comes in. So anyway, folks, let me just lay everything out, and I'll get it all out there for you, and we'll talk about it. Okay, folks, I went ahead and reconfigured my camera here to give you all a better view of everything and kind of get a little down low on it. That's it, folks. You got your vehicle there, you got your instruction manual, and you got your controller. Controller just comes in 2 pieces. Real easy to assemble and disassemble, so you can use the transport case to take this thing around. Here's how this baby works. It's actually pretty slick. You lift this thing up. You got your battery polarities there. It takes 4 AA's, so just for the heck of it, I'll go ahead and stick those in there now. We'll power this thing up here in this video as well, but let's just get these in here so I can show you how nicely this thing works. Pop that into place, fits into position. Very, very nice how that is. It adds a little bit of weight to the handle as well, which is nice. You have a little latch mechanism here that releases this, so you can disassemble this really fast. Put these two pieces back into the case and use the case to transport it. So it's kind of nice how that works. And then once you kind of push that thing down, you slide this forward, contacts are made, and that's it. Your controller's set up and ready to go. Of course, you got your gas, you got your brake, and reverse as well. Your steering wheel right here. Looks like you got some channel trims and steering trims. I'm assuming that's what that is. I don't know what this 4-channel button's for. But you got endpoint adjustments, reverse, and then your power switch. Turn your power switch on. You'll see your light right here, and there's probably your antennas right in here. 2.4 gigahertz, folks. So that thing's ready to go. And that's really it for the controller. Again, this thing disassembles fast. You just push back on this, and it slides back out. So very nice design. Really liking that. And then to the vehicle itself. This thing is pretty darn cool. The suspension on this thing. Look at this thing. Look how the compression is, how much movement you have. The tires themselves, they're rubber, but they're very spongy, and you can see it's all-wheel drive. All the wheels are moving when I turn it. It's very robust, very rugged, and we'll get into this in a lot of detail. I'm impressed with this. And then the rear tire is supposed to be functional, so that's supposed to be replaceable if you damage one or something. Just sort of like the full-scale Jeep. Now, a couple of details I'm going to kind of point in on you here so you guys can see. The windshield has a little latch mechanism right here. I don't know if that's true to scale to the full-size vehicle or not, but that just lifts off, and then that's how you put your windscreen down. Mirror is true to scale, and the funny thing is as you look at this as you look at the windshield right here, it almost looks like there's a self-painted, a couple of bug splats almost at the factory. That's kind of what it looks like. I think they just kind of misallocated the paint or whatever, but it looks almost like they pre-installed some bug slats on there. But really nice. That'll just, you got to push it back pretty hard. I'm hitting my camera here. Latch that into place. Steering wheel here is pretty darn cool. Let me zoom in on that as well. There is a servo underneath. You can hear it here. That when you turn the wheel, it turns that thing. So the servo goes along with and turns, and here it is right there. That's where your servo's mounted, and that's really nice. There's an arm down in there where it turns the steering wheel. So as I get this thing back down, let me kind of zoom a little bit. I'll show you the hood here. The hood unsnaps, and the detail's not great in there. Here, I'll get in there so y'all can see, but clearly, that's going to be subject to a lot of painting. People are going to want to paint the heck out of that thing. It's pretty bland the way it is, but at least you got the detail there. And I'll go ahead and latch that. It looks like there's 2 points here where you latch that down. It snaps into place in 2 positions. But this suspension is killer. Just look at this thing. And then you've got lights. I know you have these 2 lights right here that function, and I believe this one works as well. So probably some pretty bright LEDs, but we'll see as we get that going. Nice grill work all the way around, and look at the underside of this thing. This thing is cool as heck. Let's get in on some of the detail here. The shovel was kind of flopping around in the box as we opened it there, and you can see there's I had to rebuckle this back into place, but there's actual little buckles and everything that holds everything into place. I can tighten that and get that in position better, but I just kind of slapped it on there initially. But check this out, cloth seats all the way around, really nice. Not super comfortable, obviously, but very cool all the way around. No tail lights, and I'm guessing people are going to want to put tail lights back in here, so I'm thinking LEDs are going to end up going in there. So we got some lighting back there as well. I'll probably throw some of my own Cree lights in there and stuff. And then there's our rear tire. That's a functional tire. It'll replace the any of the tires in case you got a problem with one. So it's actually a real spare on this thing. Now, let's get to the nitty gritty. Actually, one more thing I do want to show you. If you pop these tie wraps right here, these poles here, this whole thing actually lifts up because there is that optional cover, and they insert into this. So it makes a framework for that soft top. In fact, let me see if I can show it here in the there's a picture of it here on the box. Yeah, let me flip this around. You guys can see what that looks like. You can see those bars right back there. Those will lift up so you have that soft top. That's not something that's included. That's something else that you have to get optional. But anyway, that's pretty cool. So let me pan out here a little bit. Actually, I'm at full pan out, aren't I? And we'll get to the underside. Look at the underside. This thing's heavy, folks. It has a really awesome frame that runs all the way across, like a ladder frame. that's very, very scale. Look at the detail in there. Look at the drive shaft and everything. I'll turn the wheel. It's very heavy duty stuff, folks. Look at that. The universal joints and everything. The suspension and compression. It's just very, very cool. I mean, it's like a full scale car with universal joints and everything, except it's just, you know, it's just driven by electricity. It's very cool. There's your steering arm and everything. Look at that. That is just outstanding all the way on. Look at those joints there and everything. Look at the U-joints in there. Look at that thing. Outstanding, folks. I'm really liking this. Very cool. Again, I'm not really a car guy, but definitely have appreciation for this kind of thing. And this is just so classic in nature that it's just pretty awesome. Now, to get this thing, to open this thing up, what you got to do is go under the tail here, and there's 2 cotter pins. We're going to pull that out, and we are going to pull this one out also, and that allows the entire thing to open up, and it's just that easy. And you can look inside and see everything. You see your motor in there, your electric motor, looks like your speed controller, suspension components. You got your there's our receiver. It looks like a single antenna receiver all the way around, and then you got your main transmission that your motor goes into with universal joints and everything. So, and then you got your forward and rear drive axle. There's your huge battery compartment. So I think this is designed to take 2 and 3 cell. I'm not 100%, but you know, as I get into driving it, we'll get to do a demo here for you after this video. But I'm going to put in, let's see what batteries I got. I've got a 3300 3 cell that I'll probably stick in there. So whatever you can fit in there will give you an idea of the size of the compartment and everything. And I actually have a 4000 as well. This is a 3 cell. That's a little bit too long. So longer batteries are probably not totally the way to go. And then I got a 5500 roaring tap. This is a 2 cell. That barely fits in there. So, and in fact, if I can grab a ruler, let me see if I can get one here for you guys really fast here. I had a ruler here I was stepping on. Let's take a look. We'll get this metric thing in there so you guys can get an idea. This will help you out with battery sizes that you might need. So let me kind of line that up, and I'll see if I can zoom down in on that. Yeah, I'm actually already there, but you can get an idea. Looks like about 15 centimeters. Or 150 millimeters or so is what you need. And you can go a little bit tall on it. One interesting thing too about this is that they didn't provide straps. I don't know if that was an omission or something, but in any case, I'll add some straps to that to strap the battery down. But this thing is simply awesome. I'm just kind of really blown away by the detail of this thing. Let me, it's hard to maneuver a little bit here, folks, but I'll do my best here with it. It's a lot of machine. It's very, very heavy. That's why I'm kind of breathing hard, because I'm on the ground here and I'm showing it to you as best I can. But very, very cool all the way around. Let's take a look at the suspension on this thing. See how nice the compression is on these shocks. Very, very cool all the way around. All independent, but single axle suspension. Very, very cool. Like this thing. Anyway, folks, that's really about it. Just wanted to give you a brief overview of what this thing looks like, and then we're going to get it out and drive it for you. But tell you what, in the meantime, it does have a Dean's connector, so let me go ahead and throw a battery in. We'll plug it in, and we'll see how it looks just plugged in and operating. To fire it up is just as simple. Just turn on your transmitter right here, get your light, and then get your battery in there. Again, I'll strap it in later when we drive it around, and then we'll just go ahead and we'll plug this thing in and let it boot up. We got our receiver light right there, and it looks like it's pretty much ready to go. I'll go ahead and put the top down, make sure it's seated, which it looks like it is, and then we'll see how it drives. I'm not going to go too far here with it. I'll just put it kind of here and just see how it operates. It looks like it works real nice. It's real sensitive on 3 cells though. Really nice proportional steering. Look how nice that thing works. And what we'll do is take a look at that steering wheel. Look at that. Isn't that cool? That's pretty bad. That's awesome. That's pretty cool. Let me flip it upside down, and let's look at the kind of the under workings of this thing and how it operates. Let's see how it drives. Look at the wheels. Look at the axle. Very, very cool. The drive shaft. Steering's nice and smooth. Let's look at that. Looks like it's moving a little bit, so let's see if I can give it a little bit of trim shot there. Let's go forward. Let's go back. You get, that's the throttle trim right there. but very, very cool overall. Look at that. Look how nice that thing is. We got to get this out and drive it, folks. That's going to be in the next video. Upper right-hand corner, folks. I'll go ahead and I'll put that up there when we get that up here. But look how nice that is. Look at that steering geometry. Very, very cool. This is like a full-scale vehicle. It's just awesome. The suspension, the compression, the drive axles, and how well all that stuff works. Just very, very neat. So anyway, let's flip it over right side up. Look at the headlights. Looks like we've got all those lights working. Super scale, folks. This is going to look cool. I think it's going to need some rear lights as well. I think I'm going to have to put some LEDs back on all these. It's good platform for doing all that, for lighting up these rear lights. So I'll probably end up doing that, folks. Let me really quick get into the manual real fast. There's actually a bunch of stuff in here. They go into all sorts of things here. They go into cutaways of all of the parts and everything. In fact, I don't need to show you too much in here. You guys can check this out if you all end up getting one. They talk about binding in here a little bit, forward and back, some of the trim work. But this is the part that I think is just really, really kind of noteworthy. All the detail, they show you all these pictures. They give you a lot of detail on all these things and how that rear, you know, how those rear bars work to hold up that rear canvas top. And then they talk about how they show you here where the latches are to open the hood and all that kind of stuff. But then they go into some extreme detail here. Look at these things. Look at the parts for this axle. So if you need parts, they go into every single part for your transaxles and your universal joints and everything. So they go into the shocks. They talk about all of this stuff in really good detail. They really break down all the parts for you. So really, really cool, folks, all the way around. Really, really digging the overall quality of this thing. And you can see while I'm doing this. Let's see, folks. Really nice. I dig this. Look, there's the steering linkage and how that connects with the servo and everything, it looks like. And very, very cool. All the parts are listed, and check that out. Well, anyway, folks, this is very cool. This is coming from ROC HOBBY. There's my P51, folks. We're going to make a tow harness to tow my Mustang behind this thing. And anyway, folks, really nice crawler coming from ROC HOBBY. I'm really into this. Can't wait to get it out and drive it. We'll get some videos out for you here real shortly. The scale detail is awesome. It's a very heavy model. The quality's good. The lights are awesome on this thing, but I just can't dig how scale this thing, how this is great the suspension is, and we got to get it out there and try it. I'll put those videos at the end. I'll put them down in the description as well. Probably add them to the comments as I put them up. And then the upper right hand corner where you see that white eye right there, if you click on that even now, it'll drop down some windows as I put videos of this thing as we crawl it and drive it around, and you guys can see how it operates. But overall, really awesome. Again, if you want to get this thing, there's more places starting to carry it. I'll put those links down below in the description as I get them, and so forth. So anyway, guys, appreciate you watching RC Informer. It is a red letter date, our first car on the channel. We do appreciate it, and as always, folks, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.